we always get hung up on things when there's no football being played. We always get hung up on things when no football is being played because we miss talking about football and getting hung up on things involving football. And the whole Lamar Jackson has not signed a long-term deal with the Baltimore Ravens, to me, is about Lamar's decision not to do that. Normally, when a star quarterback is going into his last year of his contract, he's pounding the table for a long-term deal. Certainly when he's already won an MVP award, and certainly when he's proven out that his choice is a first-round draft pick by the team that traded up to go get him was proven wise by his play. Normally, that quarterback will want his money. As a matter of fact, a quarterback who is not even on his last year of his deal will sometimes want his money. That's why I always still have this Kyler Murray piece of stationery with his agent putting out a treatise about why he should be paid long term after just 3 years. That's where we're going in this league. We're not going in the direction of Lamar Jackson apparently saying I'm not signing what's on the table, and it does not appear that what's on the table is unworthy of his attention. In other words, I don't think he's getting lowballed by the team.
Right.
And part of the reason why I don't think that is because I know the owner, and Steve Bisciotti. He's the one who once upon a time told Joe Flacco, you know what, I'm gonna let you go into this season without a long-term deal, and you got to prove it to me. You show me what you can do, and put that on my desk, and I'll replace it with a bag of money. And Flacco won the Super Bowl, if you remember. And Steve Bisciotti basically was like, Uncle, okay, I made this bed, and I'm happy to be lying in it thanks to you with my trophy.
Right.
Like, that's the owner that's in question here, not the one that's been always tight in the wallet. So if it's Lamar deciding that he doesn't want to sign, or he's, according to Bisciotti himself, in sleuthing this out, we even asked Calais Campbell when he came on the program, the idea that maybe it's Lamar saying he's not yet worthy because he has not won anything yet in his mind. That he's not worthy of the bag until he wins the ring. And the issue with that is like, how many guys who are so talented like him get close or don't, or never get back or never get to it. And it's not their fault for it. And plus the planning aspect of trying to win, you can finagle the cap a little bit better when you sign someone long-term as opposed to just franchise tagging him, which is what the Ravens will do. So this is not a question of Lamar not being there in Baltimore unless he doesn't want to be there, even though he tweets out all the time he can't wait to get back, including just now on Tuesday when he did not show up for voluntary organized team activities, which is the maneuver normally of a quarterback who's going into his last year and is unsigned. Normally, that's the maneuver made by that quarterback to say, where's my money? Except this is a quarterback, we believe, who's saying, I'm not asking for the money and I'm not ready to accept it yet. So why isn't he there? Ask the coach. And this is what John Harbaugh had to say.
This is voluntary. Lamar Jackson's not out here. Have you talked to him, or do you have a sense of his plan over these weeks?
Yeah, we've been down this road many times, right, through the years. So I just let Lamar speak for himself on that. It's for him to talk about. You can ask him.
But John, traditionally, quarterback is kind of that exception. We know veterans aren't here voluntarily quite often, but is it a concern not having them here?
It's not for me to speak for somebody else on that. It's up to him to speak for himself on that.
See, now that last question gave John Harbaugh the opening of saying, yeah, of course it is, because we traded away Hollywood Brown. Our passing game right now is an open question. It is. It's a fact. I mean, I know Mark Andrews is there, but who else is there? Like, what's his passing game going to look like in Baltimore?
Big question mark.
Right? Like, that's the biggest question mark of Baltimore.
Yep.
I shouldn't say biggest, second biggest. The biggest question mark is what's going through Lamar's head. And the one thing that it could be is he just doesn't want to be there. He's working out on his own. There's no need for him to be there because it is voluntary. And of course, John Harbaugh wants him there. Everybody wants the top dog there, the big toe there, the guy who's the leader there, the guy who's the quarterback. He's got to be there. Unless he doesn't want to be. And the question is why. And I think at some point, all of us in the media have to understand we are dealing with a unicorn here, not just in his ability, but just in the way that he's wired. I don't think there's anybody wired like him. The answer could be just cuz. And he's working his ass off wherever he is. We see the videos. You hear about he's working with people and he's not checked out. But it does lead to what happens in the season. That's why I always think about whatever you talk about how will it lead to wins and losses in the season? And I don't know if it's going to affect wins or losses at all. But what will happen is if the losses do mount or if he is hurt, the questions will be, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? I just said it in different tones. But that will be the question. Which is why I would say take the bag, man.
Just take it.
Take it. Accept it. He's making $23 million this year on his fifth-year option. But, again, he's unlike anybody that I've covered. I just don't know. But when he's asked, I can't wait to hear the answer because I think he's incapable of lying. As you remember, he came on the show and he's like, "Yeah, people know our plays before I call it."
Yeah, he's very.
I think he's just a real, plain spoken, humble person who beats to his own drum. And we've all, I guess, got to start figuring out what that beat is because I don't know anything else to try and read into it. But it was interesting. Harbaugh had the opportunity to basically say, yeah, of course we want him here. And he was just like, let him speak for himself. Because I don't know what the hell's going on. And maybe he doesn't either, or he does and he knows that he doesn't want to add any fuel to that fire, if there is one. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.